Hi everyone, this is Frank Demora again with the Last Chronicles of Planet Earth. This is the first time that you've come to my YouTube channel. I'd invite you to go to my website, which is www.bibleprophecyman.com. And once you're there, you'll see the front cover of my book and also the back cover. Right below it, there's a link. You click to the link and you can download my documentary on Bible prophecy and current event, which is called The Last Chronicles of Planet Earth, and you can download it for free. I'm going to cover a prophecy that Jesus gave to us, and again it has to do with the last days. Listen to what he says about the birth pangs, one of the signs that he told us to look for in these last days. If you read Mark chapter 13 verse 8, it says this: "Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places and famines. These are the beginning of birth pains." In other words, Jesus was showing us that in the last days the signs would be taking place just like a woman who was in labor giving birth. And if you've ever watched any woman give birth, you'll know that they go through these labor pains, and the pains will increase, they'll back off, but when they start again, they get more intense until the baby's born. And this is what Jesus shows us about the last days signs. So we know that the events that are taking place, all of the things that are mentioned by Jesus, those specific signs, we know, and we should be looking for those signs to get worse. And I'm going to give you an example of the Lord's words coming to pass. I'm going to put this up. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. It says global disaster impact rises in 2010. This is the latest report that came out showing us what's happened over the previous year compared to other years as far as disasters go. It says this: the global impact of natural disasters took a turn for the worst in 2010, with an uptick in the fatalities and economic damage, according to the report released on Tuesday. Then you'll see, obviously, when you go to my website, you're going to be able to click to this link. You'll see the picture of this woman in one of the disasters. It goes on to say the Victoria Hernandez cries on March 1st of 2010 outside the home of her parents, who were missing after an earthquake in Dichenel, Chile, a natural disaster that caused the worst economic damage last year. It says there were 385 natural disasters worldwide last year that killed more than 297,000 people, affected over 217 million others, and caused 123.9 billion in economic damage, according to the annual disaster strategical review in 2010. The number of victims increased from 198.7 million in 2009 to 217.3 million in 2010. So you see there was quite a bit of a rise in the victims. While economic damage from natural disasters in 2009 were 47.6 billion. Two mega disasters made 2010 the deadliest year at least in 2 decades. It goes on to say that first, Haiti suffered 222,507 fatalities and had over 39.1% of its population, or the total of 3.9 million victims, affected by January 12th, the 2010 earthquake. And then it goes on and talks about Russia. He says, second, Russia, with the affected with extreme temperatures, floods, wildfires, had a total of 55,800 deaths. Most fatalities were due to the heat wave that occurred in June or August. And as long as we're talking about Russia and the heat and the droughts, the signs that Jesus gave to us, he also told us to watch for famines and droughts and the intense heat. And all of these things are taking place. Now, keep watching the news, because we see 2009, and now obviously with the news that just came out, 2010, the disasters are even worse than they were. And if you're alive and you saw what's been happening since January of 2011 with the massive floodings that have taken place in many parts of the world, and then the tsunami that took place after the huge earthquake, and the damage that caused around the world when the tsunami hit the nations in the way of that tsunami. So we see the events that Jesus is talking about. The birth pains are definitely getting worse, and according to what Jesus tells us, and he keeps telling us over and over again, if you read the scriptures, to keep on the watch. And he did this, as I mentioned yesterday, because if you're watching, you will see the exact things that Jesus told you to watch for. And this would encourage you that Jesus' words are in fact the truth, and everything that he prophesied and told us to watch for is coming to pass. And that is an indication that we're very, very close to seeing the second coming of the Lord Jesus Christ. So pay attention and be ready at all times, because the Lord is not far off. God bless.